this morning with Donna Anderson from MSC Cruises. Donna will walk us through this morning everything that is new with MSC and give a wonderful presentation on their product. At any time throughout the webinar, if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat box on the right side. We'll go through the questions upon the presentation finishing. I'll hand over to Donna now to lead the presentation.
Good morning, everybody. I hope everyone can hear me clearly, and I look forward to bringing a world of MSC Cruises to you this morning. If at any time it goes off or you cannot hear me, please don't hesitate to type into the chat area and we can try and fix it for you. Well, for those of you who are new to MSC or the world of MSC, it's a beautiful company based out of Europe, and it is known as the largest privately owned cruise line in the world. What that means to you is that we're a family-run business, and we bring the essence of relaxation and fun on board our ships, and it also means that we can turn things around quite quickly. So our expansion of doing 24 cruise ships by 2026 is well on its way. We're at cruise ship number 16 with MSC Bellissima already in the system and ready to book. So we're moving forward very, very quickly and making sure that our clients certainly get some amazing cruising with us. One of the great things that most agents ask me is, what's the difference between MSC and some of the other cruise lines? And I can pinpoint it in a couple of areas. First of all, it's without a doubt our affordable luxury and our affordable pricing. You'll always find that any of the deals you see out and about are in either Australian or New Zealand dollars. And we always make sure that we're giving you the elements of what you need with the avenue to upsell and cross-sell with additional things as you move forward. On board, that affordable luxury brings you affordable pricing and affordable cabins. So we have spacious, elegant cabins, but you will find that with our pricing structure, you're able to justify the pricing into what your client is looking for, and we'll go through that. Now, a lot of people say to me, who will I meet on board? Well, if you're in the Mediterranean or Northern Europe, you're going to meet a lot of European-style clients on board. We also have a fantastic staff, and all of them know at least 5 international languages, with one of them most definitely being English. So they are very, very adept at dealing with all of the clientele on board. As far as the language system goes on board, English is spoken second on all of our presentational work, and you'll only notice that presentational work when your clients go to the safety demonstrations or when they greet people at the evening theatre. But all of our theatre productions and our singing is in English so that the clients have that full essence of both European and English understanding. Now, covering our areas of cruising, one of the things people don't always realise is that we always have a ship in the Mediterranean year-round. So as your clients are looking for places to go over Christmas, New Year, then they can always come to us and we'll have a Mediterranean cruise. But in addition to that, we also have cruising year-round in the Caribbean out of Miami, and we're excited to bring one of our newest ships into Miami at the end of last year in December, and that enabled us to put a brand new ship down there, which is very exciting out of that destination. And we also have year-round cruising in Cuba. Well, that cruising starts in Havana, but I have some special little tricks up my sleeve for Havana for you to make your bookings. In addition, we do seasonal cruising in Northern Europe. We have cruising out of South America from October to March, and we have cruising out of South Africa from October to March, as well as the Arabian Peninsula. And for the first time in 2018, we have a one-off departure out of Japan so that we can see how our Asian cruising will start to look. So we are broadening our scope, and with those new ships, we'll be able to broaden our destinations for you to sell to your clients. Now, currently with 16 ships to sell, and a lot of people say to me, what's it like on board on these different ships? Well, I'll say to you quite easily, the best way to distinguish our ships is by the number of passengers that we travel with. With our larger ships, with our new ships, which was Meraviglia in June 2017, Seaside in December 2017, we will have Bellissima, which we're already selling into, coming on board in 2019, and Seaside's sister ship, Seaview, coming on board in June 2018 in the Mediterranean. Our new ships started around 5,000 passengers. But one of the great things with those new ships is with size comes space. So there are more embarkation and disembarkation areas on board the ship. There are more exit and entry areas for your shore excursions on board the ship. There are more lounges, there are more bars, there's more restaurants. The wider aisleways means walking up and down is very easy. So with those heightened number of passengers, you also get a lot of new flexibility with your larger ships. Underneath our new ships are our only 2-year-old ships, which are our 4,000 passenger fleet, and that's Fantasia, Splendida, Divina, and Preziosa. With the 4,000 and the 5,000 fleet, if your clients are feeling that that's a lot of clients, then what you may want to consider is a special little section we will talk about later called MSC Yacht Club. And that Yacht Club section are definitely an added avenue for those areas. Now, underneath the 4,000, we have our 3,000 passenger ship of Musica, Orchestra, Poesia, and Magnifica. And then under that, our smallest ships, which are 2,500, with Armonia, Symphonia, Lyrica, and Opera. Now, with your 2,000 and your 3,000 fleet, that's where you'll find them doing some unique itineraries. So over in Cuba, we've put our smaller ships of Opera and Armonia, so that when you're in Cuba, you have that sense of an intimate ship as you're exploring a new destination. For Symphonia and Lyrica, as well as Musica and Poesia, they do our beautiful itineraries out of Venice down through the Greek islands, so that with those smaller ships, we can get as close to the island and get you on and off as quickly as possible. Orchestra takes in for 2018 the beautiful areas of the fjords up in Northern Europe, and Magnifica does a combination of the beautiful areas of the fjords, and then later in the season, September and October, she comes down and does some Mediterranean cruising as well. So you'll see with that the essence of our ships are all around our major destinations and provide us with a great sense of cruising style, whether it's small and intimate, right up to those beautiful ships with the bells and whistles. Coming on board, but not open for sale just yet, we have some new ships coming through, 8 new ships to be exact. We've got some sister ships to Meraviglia coming on board in 19 and 20. We have sister ships to Seaside and Seaview coming on board in 21 and 23. And then we're going to develop a whole brand new ship called the World Class Series. And they will come on board in the years of the 20,000s. So we're definitely coming on board with some new destinations and some new ships for you to enjoy. Looking at our most recent launch, which is Seaside at the Seaview, which is coming up in June 2018, we developed a unique style of cruise ship here. And you'll notice as you look at those images on the screen that one of the great things about this ship is that you'll notice all the balcony cabins are above. There's a beautiful promenade deck all the way around. And then you have your ocean and your inside underneath that promenade deck. So it does give you a different sense of cruising because you have an outside area where you can take your meals outside and eat outside. We've got some bars where you can take your drinks outside and enjoy that outside feel while you're cruising. And then, of course, you've also got your beautiful areas inside for people to enjoy as well. So definitely a great different combination for that sense of cruising and sense of uniqueness. Now, we were excited with our christening in Seaside in December this year that we had Ricky Martin coming on board, and he gave us a great rendition of some of his favourite songs. We also had the beautiful Sophia Loren, who christens all of our ships, and she'll be there in the Mediterranean when we christen Seaview in 2018 in June. And the beautiful voice of Andrea Bocelli, which was sensational in the Miami port as well. Seaside, you'll see there down on the right, you've got the stunning zip line that people can enjoy. So there's plenty of activities for the young and the young at heart. And then on the right there, you've got some beautiful specialty restaurants. Seaside has a stunning area on deck 16 where we've got our specialty restaurants all built within one area. So it's actually like going down a street and seeing all the different restaurants. And there's a beautiful bar in the centre, so you can meet for a drink first before you go and explore those beautiful specialty restaurants. And often people say to me, oh, specialty restaurants on board, they're very expensive. You can do what's called a trio of specialty dining on board Seaside, and that will give you a 3-course meal in each of the 3 restaurants. The Butcher's Cut, which is a typical steak restaurant. You've got the Ocean Cay, which is a beautiful seafood restaurant. And then you've got the Asian Fusion Yapanaki restaurant. And you get a 3-course meal at each one of those restaurants. And that comes to you in Australian dollars at 169 in total per person. Or if you're in New Zealand, it goes up a little to 179. So it really is good value and money because you're getting 3 restaurants on board and 3 3-course meals. So it is actually quite reasonably priced to attend any of our specialty restaurants on board. If you look at the specialty restaurants in our 3,000 passenger ships, such as Poesia, Musica, Orchestra, and Magnifica, you can do what's called a round robin of specialty dining, and that starts at around 30 euros on board, so around $60 per person, and you can move around the different specialty restaurants. So it is good value to do both our add-on specialty restaurants on board as well as buying the regular package price. And you'll see there in the next little slide that up on the right is the seafood restaurant with the beautiful fish in that big manner screen up there. On the left up the top is our beautiful Japanese restaurant. And not only do you have the restaurant, but you have a teppanyaki bar there as well. So if you just want to go for a light meal and just pay as you go, you can do that as well. And then down on the right, you'll see the main area of the Butcher's Cut as well. And the picture on the left is the beautiful lobby area. As you walk into the ship, you'll be amazed at that sensational graphic lobby area. And what you'll notice there, as it rises up between the different decks, you'll have entertainment in all of those little pockets. So if you're walking around the deck, you'll often have a singer in the evenings entertaining in that lobby area as well to give you something completely unique. And you'll see there in your next picture the beautiful bars and restaurants that you can do. And we've got a unique style of cabin. Not only do you have your regular inside ocean view and balcony cabins, but there is a section on board Seaside and Seaview which has that cabin type down on the right corner. It's called a balcony area. And what you'll find is the beautiful cabin inside is normal, but when you step out onto your balcony, you'll have, first of all, a section where you'll have a table and chairs with some covering so that you'll get your shade. And then you'll step onto a grass area where the balcony will stretch further and further down so that you've got that beautiful stretched area where you can have a sun chair and you can lay out underneath the sun. So you'll be able to stay in your room and anticipate that beautiful sense of enjoying the outside coming in as you're exploring with MSC Seaside. In addition, she has a beautiful deck area up the top there for the activities. Now, those activities are great for the children, but it's also fun for the adults as well the water slide and the zip line. And you've also got a great court up there where they do run a lot of activities for the teenagers up there. They'll have Olympic competitions as well. So plenty of activities on board those beautiful larger ships for people to enjoy. If you're looking at that beautiful bedroom over the other side, that's the bedroom side of the deck with the grass on it that we were looking at earlier. So you can see much modern, stylish facilities that you have on board. And that comes through on all of our ships, not just on Seaside. Seaside is currently cruising out of the beautiful port of Miami down through the beautiful areas of the Caribbean. And she will be joined in June by her beautiful sister ship, Sea, which will be coming out of the stunning port of Genoa in Italy, going around those areas around Spain, France, and down into Malta, and also giving you a day at sea so that you can relax and enjoy this beautiful ship as well. Once she's finished the Mediterranean, at the end of November, she'll head down to South America. And it'll be the first time we've had a brand new ship in South America for 3 years. So it's exciting to know that we can take these ships further afield now. And I know one of the questions I'm going to get asked is, when are they coming down to Australia or New Zealand? We are coming down for a visit next year and a visit in 2020, but hopefully sometime soon we'll be able to bring a ship down here for a little bit longer. Bellissima is on track to become our next new big ship in 2019. So as your clients start looking for next year, you'll be pleased to know that you can already start booking on Bellissima. And she is the same as our beautiful new ship for 2017, Meraviglia. Both of those ships bring you the unique experience of enjoying a Circus du Soleil show on board. Now, our regular entertainment is very Broadway style, but on both the Meraviglia and Bellissima, it takes a step up into that Circus du Soleil. The performance actually come from the company Circus du Soleil, and we've actually had to build on these two brand new ships a unique lounge area for them to perform. So if your clients want to see a Circus du Soleil show while they're cruising, you need to book them either Meraviglia or Bellissima. And it will be at a surcharge, so it's not included in the cruise fare. So if you're looking to just see the show, you're looking at around 19 Australian dollars up to 21 New Zealand dollars. Or you can also choose to do a 3-course dinner and then watch the show from your table. And that sits at around 49 to 50 Australian dollars and up to around 60 New Zealand dollars. So it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. They do 2 different shows a night. So your clients are probably going to book one of the shows and just go and enjoy the show, and then see the different show and enjoy it as dining. So it's always a good idea if they're on these ships to recommend they pre-book that in their personalizer before they get on board, because it is cut off at 400 people. So it's always a chance of first in, best dressed along those lines. Bellissima will be doing the beautiful Med when she comes on board in 2019 before she heads off down to South America as well. Now you've seen some of our stunning ships, let's have a look at some fabulous itineraries. A lot of you will probably already start looking at 2019 for your itineraries, and I'll let you know that we'll actually be having the rates available for sale from the 3rd of April 2018. So if you've got clients interested in 2019, get their information, and it'll only be a month away and you'll be able to start selling them into an MSC cruise. Now, our famous Mediterranean cruising is year-round, and one of the highlights with our Mediterranean cruising is what we call our flexible embarkation. So say you had a client who was interested in just doing a 7-night cruise, and they may be interested in looking at that itinerary on the left there, out of Genoa down through to Marseille, Barcelona, into Malta, up into Naples, and back into Genoa on a 7-night cruise. Now, they may already be doing a coach tour with Insight or Globus, and they may have already prior to that seen some friends over in the UK. So if they're interested in doing this cruise, but their coach tour ends in Spain, you could actually embark your clients in Barcelona and do this 7-night rotational cruise, Barcelona, on the same itinerary, but you're starting in a different port of call. Say they're over visiting family in Italy. They may want to start this cruise in Naples. So where you can see these stars on those maps, that's where your clients can start and end their journey. And we call it flexible embarkation so that you can bring a cruise to their European itinerary and add it in at any time throughout their holiday. But if you've got a client who's particularly wanting to go cruising with MSC, they may want to do what we do best, which is join the West Mediterranean with the East Mediterranean on what's called our Grand Mediterranean of cruising. This cruise is a combination of 2 7-nights into a 14-night cruise. Your clients can choose to start in Venice and do a 7-night cruise from Venice back to Venice. And then on day 8, they will be put on a special coach with their luggage and transferred across onto Genoa. They will arrive in Genoa around lunchtime. The coach tour takes between 4 to 5 hours. And then they'll embark on their second ship in Genoa, have some lunch on board, have a look around. The cruise will leave at around 6 p.m. that evening, and they'll do their second 7 nights. So they've been able to go on both sides of the Mediterranean to explore. We've been able to put them on one side and move them across to the other side of Europe quite easily. And they've had a fantastic 14-night cruise at an amazing price. If your clients would be interested in doing it in reverse, so they can end in Venice, we can do that as well. So always remember with that, the transfer is free for the first 2 adults in the booking, and anyone else in the booking or any children in the booking will pay a flat rate of $150 for the transfer. So it's just free for those first 2 adults. We'd be pleased to say that we've actually got a new ship cruising in 2018 out of Venice. That's our beautiful small ship of 2,500 passengers called MSC Lyrica. And she goes down and has a full day in Mykonos. She also has a stop in Crete, which is a great little destination down there and quite unique in that Greek island area as well. So she's come back into the fold for 2018. So if you're looking for some last-minute bookings for the Mediterranean and they're trying to find a cruise, have a look at Lyrica because she's got a little bit more availability than everybody else and still doing those beautiful areas of the Greek islands. If your clients have already done the Mediterranean, they may be starting to look up into Northern Europe. Our season in Northern Europe is much shorter. You're looking at starting around the middle of April and going through into the first week of September. We have beautiful 7- and 14-night cruises that incorporate the Baltic capitals with the Norwegian fjords. So it's a 7-night cruise up through the fjords and then a 7-night cruise over the Baltics, or you can do it in reverse. One of the exciting things about this cruise is that you can do it in either direction, but you're on the same ship throughout. So if you book your 14 nights nice and early, you'll have the same cabin throughout, and you'll be able to relax, and your clients will be able to relax and enjoy the cruise. And when it comes back to the repeat port, they'll be able to just get off and wander around and enjoy. We have 14-night cruises out of Copenhagen. Now, these 14-night cruises have a day stay in St. Petersburg in Russia. So it arrives in at 8 in the morning and leaves at 6 p.m. that evening. If your clients do a shore excursion in St. Petersburg, it automatically comes with the visa for Russia included. So you don't have to organize a visa for them. All they need to do is book a shore excursion before they go, and the visa is automatically included. If your clients are interested, we have 2 ships doing those 14-night cruises, Orchestra or Preziosa. And the only difference with there, you'll notice, with Preziosa, she goes into Stockholm before coming across to Tallinn and St. Petersburg, whilst Orchestra the day before was going into Helsinki in Finland. So keep an eye on those little small changes with the itinerary there. If you're looking for some longer cruising in Northern Europe, we have some extended cruising, which overnights in St. Petersburg. They're 11-night cruises out of Hamburg only. We also have some beautiful cruising up into North Cape, where you'll see the midnight sun. MSC Cruises does not do any cruising to the Northern Lights, so it's not over that period of time that we will actually be there. but we do have some fantastic cruising into Iceland as well. And if I recommend your clients keep an eye out for 2019, I'll be pleased to let you know that in 2019 we'll have a cruise. It's a long one. It's 21 nights, but it'll be incorporating 5 stops in Iceland and 5 stops in Greenland. And it'll be on our beautiful orchestra ship of 3,000 passengers, and that'll be a nice new one-off itinerary for those people who've never been to Greenland and want to go and see it. It's worth considering, and that will be out in our 2019 program. We have some beautiful new departures out of Southampton for those clients going to visit friends or going over into the UK. One of those is a beautiful 14-night cruise coming down and doing 2 stops in Portugal and 3 stops in Spain. So it certainly gives you a nice combination of Mediterranean on that cruise. Or we have another one which will take you into the Bordeaux region of France on an 11-night itinerary. So for those people who've done a lot of the Med already and they're over in the UK, these little longer cruises out of Southampton would be very inspiring. And they're on our 3,000 ship Magnifica as well. If you're interested in any of our fly cruise packages, just to let you know how they work, your clients have to depart with us on the flight departure. They have a pre-night accommodation at the beginning of the cruise. Then they do the full cruise section. And then because we're using airlines such as Emirates and Qantas, we've been able to get group fares so that they can have a flexible return. They'll be able to stay and do their own thing for up to 21 nights or up to 2 months, depending on the group flight that you're choosing. So you're enabled to go over and cruise with like-minded Australians and New Zealanders, and then you can go off and do your own thing. So we call it our groupage program, and we have a range of different fly cruise packages that you can find on MSC Book, our fabulous agent booking site. In the Caribbean and Cuba, we have beautiful ships, and we're there every month. As I said before, with the Caribbean, we're there year-round. So if your clients want to go out of Miami, and many people say to me, when's the best time to go out of Miami? I would recommend going anywhere from middle of November all the way through to around the middle to end of August. It's usually that September, October, and early November period that you'll run into the hurricane season. So it's something to consider when you're cruising around that Caribbean area. We do the beautiful new ship Seaside, doing regular 7-night itineraries all the way through 2019 as well as 2018. However, if your clients want to go and see more areas of the Caribbean, they may want to go between October and March each year, and they'll see some longer cruises of 11 nights. We've got cruises out of Miami coming down to Jamaica, Colombia. We go to the Panama, to a little city called Cristobal, which is the first of the lock cities of the Panama Canal. We do not cruise in the Panama Canal, but you can go there and have a look and get the explanation of the canal and see it. So that's the only difference at the moment between us and other companies in the Caribbean. We actually don't have a cruise through the Panama Canal. Up into Costa Rica and, of course, the beautiful area of Mexico. On the alternate night days, you can have a look further down into the South Caribbean area, down into St. Martin and Guadalupe and areas like that. Now, our fabulous Cuba cruising is certainly been a great success with our clients. They love the ability to be able to go and explore Cuba. But one of the assets of our Cuba cruising is because we're starting in Havana, we've actually been able to berth the ship right in town. So with our itineraries, the first 2 nights, if you look at the itinerary on the left that does Havana, Montego Bay, Georgetown, and Cozumel, when your clients embark in Havana, the ship actually goes nowhere for the first 3 days. So day 1, you embark. Then that night, you're still in the city of Havana while you're having dinner. The next day, you've got a full day in the city of Havana. That night, you've got another night in the city of Havana. And then the next day, you have another full day in the city of Havana before you cruise out at 6 p.m. down to Jamaica for your first Caribbean stop. The ability to have 3 full days and 2 nights in Havana means your clients on that itinerary have plenty of time to get on and off and do both shore excursion and explore themselves. So it gives them a real good chance to get an idea of what Cuba's like. In addition, it enables them to have a safe place to leave everything and easy access on and off, which means they're right in the center of town all the time. So it's a great way for your clients to experience Cuba without any added problems or added worries about where they were going to stay, what they were going to do while they explored the area. If they're interested in doing the alternate itinerary, which is on the right, you actually get 2 full days in Havana and 1 night, because then you come all the way down to Belize. So coming down to that further area in Belize, then across into Honduras, and then doing 2 stops in Mexico as well. So a little bit more of the cruising activity there, but still 2 full days and a night in Havana. And if you join the 2 together, because you're coming back into Havana, you'll actually end up with 5 full days there to really explore. All you have to arrange for your clients is their single entry visa into Cuba for wherever they fly into. And then the second entry when the ship comes back, we organize that to go automatically onto their account on board, and it only comes to €10. So it's actually cheaper than them purchasing a multi-entry visa before they go. So that's making it easier for you as they're cruising from Cuba. If your clients are really interested in going to places like Martinique, Guadalupe, Dominican Republic, which are those islands in the Caribbean that are right down south, and they don't want to do an airline pass, we have a cruise that goes out of those areas every Saturday from October to March each year, because that's the best time in cruising those further islands of the Caribbean. If you're wondering how to get your clients to Martinique, where the cruise starts, Air France has daily flights from Paris to Martinique each day. So you can fly your clients in. They may want to have 1 night in Martinique and then join the cruise to see some of these other amazing areas. So those destinations of the Caribbean can certainly be enjoyed by all styles of clients. Now, for those of us looking for something closer to home to do with MSC Cruises, why not consider one of our fabulous cruises out of Dubai? You have the opportunity to take your clients up into Dubai or Abu Dhabi, depending on the flight they're using, and do some fabulous 7-night cruises going into Oman, up into Qatar, over into Bahrain, and seeing some beautiful areas within the Arabian Peninsula. And if they'd like to go longer, we will have Lyrica down there doing some 11-night cruises that incorporate all of those areas, and a special cruise for 14 nights in March 2019, coming out of Dubai and incorporating 3 stops in India for something completely different. So for those people who want to see India but would prefer the security of a cruise, you don't have to fly them all the way up into Asia. You can fly them over to Dubai. They can have a couple of nights in Dubai, and then they can jump on one of our cruises and do 14 nights, which incorporates 3 stops in India, which is sensational. For the longer cruising, or those people really wanting to do the longer cruising, we've got our beautiful, what we call grand voyages. This is when we move our ships around. We have some sensational cruising where we take the cruises from Europe over, and you can end up in Cuba, and then you could stay on board for one of those 7 nights at the end and really have a sensational long cruise. We can take you down from Europe through the Mediterranean, 4 or 5 nights of sea, and then you can have 3 or 4 stops in South America, such as that top right itinerary there that does Buras, Salvador, Rio de Janeiro, and ends in Buenos Aires, which is sensational. And we also have grand voyages that come down through the Suez Canal into places like Dubai, or further down even into places like Durban in South Africa. So some amazing grand voyage cruising there, which is really unique. And for your semi-retired, retired market, they enjoy these longer cruises to see amazing destinations. And of course, as I mentioned right in the beginning, our beautiful Far East program, we're hoping to expand this. So if this cruise goes very well with our international market, we will certainly be expanding into some areas in Asia. This beautiful cruise at the moment gives you two choices of embarkation. You can embark in Shanghai on the 30th of July and have 3 nights coming from Shanghai at sea before taking in your first port of call, which is Yokohama, Japan. Or if your clients don't want to go to China because they know they have to get a visa, you could fly them into Japan and embark this cruise in Yokohama and do an 8-night cruise at Yokohama. It goes to some beautiful areas up the top end of Japan for something different, into Sadai and Mura, a beautiful island in Japan. And then it sneaks across and it does the northern side of Russia, Vladivostok, a beautiful old world Russian Cossack area, and certainly gives your clients something uniquely different to compare that Asian simplicity with that European communist style. Then it comes back in and does a little bit further up into Japan before heading back down to Yokohama. So it definitely is a unique itinerary. Once again, going into Russia, we'll organize that visa if you book a short excursion for your clients. So it's all easily organized. But as I said, just a one-off itinerary so that you can enjoy this beautiful area and we can see how our clients enjoy it. If your clients are very well organized, 2020 World Cruise is out already and ready to book. You do have to book the full cruise, which goes from Genoa in Italy on the 5th of January and returns back to Genoa through the Suez Canal and the Mediterranean on the 30th of April 2020. But as you can see there, it comes across, it does a beautiful section of South America for something completely different, coming all the way down to the bottom and then coming back up into that African side. It comes across, yes, you can see it comes into New Zealand. So even for those Australians who haven't visited New Zealand yet, this is a great way to see it. Coming into both the North and the South Island before coming across to Sydney and then back up through the islands and over into Cairns and then across into Asia and up. It is a full cruise that we're selling at the moment, $18,749 for an inside cabin. So great value for money. But because we're so excited about doing a world cruise, we've also added in 15 free shore excursions into that price, as well as their drinks for mealtime and a laundry service. So the full world cruise certainly has some great value for money for those clients who are very well organized and planning ahead. Now that you've seen our itineraries and the beautiful areas that we cruise and heard about our ships, we should just think about our pricing with MSC Cruises. We have some very unique pricing, and it enables you as an agent to fit the correct pricing to your client. So the first thing you need to know is what style of cabin does your client want on board? If they're doing one of our 7-night cruises and they say, I don't mind about my cabin because I know I'll be off each day at a different port of call and I'm only there overnight to sleep and to have a shower, then you may want to consider our Bella category. You can choose a Bella price in either an inside an ocean view and a balcony cabin. And one of the great things about the Bella price is the price is great value for money. They get all their meals included in the main restaurant, or we have a 20-hour buffet on board that you can go to as many times as you like. They still have access to entertainment each evening. However, their cabins will be towards the front or the back of the ship and lower down on the cabin decks. So that's because they've said we're not going to spend a lot of time in our cabin. So we've been able to give them a cheaper rate because they're not concerned whether they can see clearly out of their balcony or whether they can have a little bit of a lifeboat past their window. So you will find that there are clients who are interested in that, and that's what you'll sell your Bella category. If your client comes and says, I still want great value for money, but I want to have a midship cabin, then you should be looking at our Fantastica pricing. It gets all your meals in the main restaurant and the 20-hour buffet. You get your cabin location, but you're going to get a more midship cabin, and you'll be in the middle decks on board the ships. So you'll notice there that the different location of your desks will justify what pricing your clients are doing. The other great thing with Fantastica, because you've upgraded your price category a little bit there, we've also provided them a free continental breakfast in their cabin. each and every day of the cruise, except for embarkation and disembarkation day. So with that free continental breakfast, if they've got a full day shore excursion, they'll be able to have breakfast in their cabin and be able to enjoy their cabin a little bit before going out and spending the full day on shore. So it still gives them the essence of enjoying that extra bit. If you're worried the difference between Bella and Fantastica may be a large price, in Australian dollars, we have a lead-in Bella on our brand new Seaview cruise in the Mediterranean for $899 for an inside cabin. And if you wanted to upgrade to a Fantastica cabin for the full 7 nights per person, it's an extra $120. So it is great value if they want to move up to a more midship cabin. I'm going to jump over wellness for one moment because I will come back to that. If your clients say, fabulous, I want to do that 7 or 14-night cruise with MSC, however, I'm very particular about my cruise and I'm very particular about where my cabin is, you may want to look at the ARIA pricing. ARIA in Italian means relaxation, so that is what we've provided with our ARIA pricing. The first thing we've said is the client who's looking at the ARIA pricing is going to be looking at a balcony cabin. So you'll notice that you only get ARIA pricing on balconies or suites. The other thing is those cabins will be on higher decks so that your clients can see everything when they're standing out enjoying their balcony. So it's a very good location of cabin. When they choose to do their dining, they'll have the main restaurant and the 20-hour buffet, just like everybody else. However, because these clients are particular, they will be allowed to go to the main restaurant any time they like whilst the restaurant's open. So whilst if you're choosing a Bella or Fantastica, you will have to choose first or second seating. When you move up to the ARIA pricing, they can come and go into the restaurant at any time they like. So first night it might be 7:30, second night it might be 8:15, third night it might be 6 o'clock. They can be as flexible as they like because they're in the ARIA pricing. In addition to having flexible dining in the main restaurant, they will also receive a 60-minute massage in the spa centre to keep that relaxation coming and remove all that stress. And of course, we want to make sure that they're relaxing on board. So we're going to include not only all their meals, but all their drinks in all the bars and restaurants on board as well. So that means if they want to go and get a bottle of water before they go on their shore excursion, they can just walk up to the bar and get a bottle of water and off they go. If they want to sit and have a drink before they have dinner one night, they can choose any drink they like, beer, wine, sparkling wine, or by the glass. They can have mixed drinks, gin and tonic, vodka and lemonade. They can have a scotch on the rocks if they feel like it. They can have a mocktail, they can have a cocktail. In the morning, if they feel like going and having a cappuccino, it's included in their drinks package. If they want to just have an orange juice, it's included in their drinks package. So all their drinks, even if they go to a specialty restaurant on board, they still have their drinks included in those restaurants as well. So when you look at the ARIA, you will see a jump up in price. That goes up around $1,000, but think of all the value inclusions. The other value inclusion is that they get priority embarkation as they're queuing on their first day. And on board the ship, there will be a deck, an adult-only deck, that the ARIA clients have access to free of charge. So they'll be able to escape the crowds around the pool and relax on a sun deck exclusively for themselves. So you will see that the ARIA pricing, whilst it is a jump up, gives your clients that much more and enables them to have a relaxing holiday. Now, as we talked about our new ships, our 4 and our 5,000 fleet ships, we said because they were large, we had some fear that some of the clients would be a bit worried. So we created a step above even the ARIA section, and it's called our MSC Yacht Club section. That section, as you can see there on your screen, sits at the top of the ship. It's perched above the bridge where the captain is, and it's an exclusive area, much like a intercontinental executive club lounge. Well, the yacht club is an executive area for our cruise members on board. They have their own lounge where they can come and go at any time they like, and there's always drinks and canapes and food there at any time throughout the day and night. They have their own pool and sun deck, And around that pool and sun deck, they can order any drinks they like, they can order any food they like, and it's all included. They have their own yacht club restaurant, so they don't have to worry about going and eating with everybody else. It's all contained up there. And, of course, a butler and a 24-hour concierge service so that they can look and have a look around at all the different areas. Goodness me, it's jumped around. Let me just get back for you there. There we are, back in Yacht Club. Of course, the stylish cabins are there. There is only 75 cabins per ship. So the maximum you'll get up there, if everybody's a double, is around 150 people. So it is a smaller section within a larger ship. Your clients do not ever have to leave that section except to go on a shore excursion. So they don't have to go down to the main area, but they can go down to the main area at any time they like if they wish to enjoy. If you're looking at the difference between Aria and Yacht Club, you will notice that the jump up in low season is around $1,500. So certainly worth the effort to get your clients up into an exclusive area if they're worried about passenger numbers on the larger ships. Now, as we can see there, a lot of clients want the value of being able to add a drinks package. Even if they're only in Bella or Fantastica, they still want to be able to add it. So we have a very good value add drinks package that comes in the Mediterranean and Northern Europe at 39 Australian dollars, 42 New Zealand dollars per person per day. So very good value for all your alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks, including cappuccinos, hot chocolates, gelato, ice cream, as well as all your drinks in the main restaurants and bars on board. So very good value for money. No ceiling limit on the drinks. So there's no up to a maximum of this or up to a maximum of that in the Mediterranean and Northern Europe. So it's great value. If you look at the drinks packages in the Caribbean, they are a little bit more expensive than that $39 per person per day. But the good news is they're still as advantageous there as well. Now, before the clients go, it's always recommended that they go into our website and have a look at the top button at the top of our website, which says Manage Your Booking. So once they've put a deposit down, they're able to bring their booking up on their website and add in drinks packages, add in shore excursions, add in any of those things so that they're making your life easier. Or you can do it for the client themselves if you want to add it in for them and make it easier. They can also do their web check-in there so that they're covered off on all their bases, because if their web check-in matches their passport, they'll get on board quicker as well. Now for you, your clients may want to book a shore excursion before they go, but they may not have actually made their booking. They may want to have a look at those shore excursions before they make the booking, and they can do that in a section on the website called Discover MSC. In that section on the website, they can go into shore excursions, as you can see there, and they just either put their booking number in, and they can bring up their booking, or they can go further down and just put in the port they're looking at. So they may want to see what shore excursions we have in Santorini, or they may want to have a look at what's going on in Mykonos for that full day. They can just put the port in and have a look at the shore excursions before they make any choices, or you can do that for them. And you have the ability to download it into a PDF, so you can hand it over to them as well. So without having to do too much trouble, you have access to the shore excursions for your clients, quick and easy on our website. Again, they'll just click on the Enhance Your Cruise if they want to go about and make a booking as well. Now for you, the agents, we have a sensational system called MSC Book. And I look at you to say, if you haven't registered for MSC Book, please do. You just go on our regular website called msccruises.com.au, or in New Zealand, msccruises.co.nz, either one of those. And when you get onto the website, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you'll see a little section that says MSC Book for Agents in that blue section down the bottom of the website. If you click into there, it opens up this page for you. This is our registration page. So if you've not registered yet, you click down to registration, and that will come into our office here, and we will be able to set you up. It takes between 48 and 72 hours to set up, because obviously if you register on Friday afternoon, we won't be able to set you up until Monday morning. When we set you up, we'll give you an agency code, your own unique ID for your agency office, and a password. We can set up one person, and they can set up other people in their offices, or you can each individually send through and get your own access given to you. Once you're in MSC Book, there are some fantastic things you can do. The homepage will always show you our current specials. Our current special that we're advertising at the moment for Australian and New Zealanders is the fabulous Pick Your Gift. So we'll always give you an idea on what's the Hot Fly cruise package and what's our current special so that you always know. We'll also tell you which departures are selling really well as well. So we might have a great departure that's selling fantastically in September. So we'll highlight that there. So if someone says, what's the best cruise with MSC? You'll be able to just look at the homepage and be able to tell them what you can offer them at an amazing price. You can go in and compare cruises. So once you've joined up to MSC, we'll send you a special little 4-page cheat sheet, and it'll show you how to select a destination, Mediterranean, a departure month, July, and then you can click on the cruises and you can compare up to 3 cruises. So if your clients come in and they say, I'm interested in this cruise, but what about this one or this one? You can bring them all up together, and there is an area down the bottom here where you can print it out and hand it to your clients, or you can email it to your client, and it'll give you the per person price in twin share. So it's got all those inclusions if it's in AREA, it's got all your port charges included, and it's a great way to do comparison quoting, very quick and very easy rather than hanging on the phone. Of course, when you go in and choose the departure date that your client wants, we'll be able to show you availability. So you can see here this one wasn't available, but I could get them a Fantastica instead of a Bella in an ocean cabin. If you can't remember what's involved in the experiences, you just click on the icon that says I, and it'll remind you with a little list of what's involved. And you can see down here if there's a yacht club included or whether it just goes up to the AREA pricing. So very good and very quick and very clear. It's just point and click and you get all the information. We also have the option where you can do what's called a quick option, which means you can grab the cabin that your client wants and you can hold it in the MSC Book situation for 5 working days without putting any money on file. So that means you know you've got that cabin, you've got 5 days to work with your client on the airfares, any other bits and pieces you have to add in, and then you just come back on your 5th day and make that deposit payment. So it's very easy for you. We accept payment through MSC Book via eNet. So before you go home tonight, make sure you've gone onto your eNet and made MSC Cruises a supplier. Once you've got eNet to confirm we're a supplier, you can make your deposit bookings with us through MSC Book. Now, maybe you want to get your clients e-tickets. They've paid up in full. You didn't book through MSC Book, but if they've paid up in full, you can go into MSC Book and email the e-tickets. Now, we give you 2 email addresses, one for the client and one for yourself, or you can have one to the office and one to your personal, so that if it goes through an office, it's involved in being stored, and then you've got it personally for you to have a look at before you forward it on to your clients. So being able to access your e-tickets 60 days before makes life easier. No more hanging on the phone or chasing emails, which is fantastic activity, and we recommend signing up to MSC Book for that avenue just to help you out. Finally, if you've got clients who've never cruised with MSC before, but they may be big cruisers of other ocean cruising like Princess, Cunard, Celebrity, they may also be big owners of reward points with Accor, Sheraton, Hyatt International. If they've got any one of those loyalty programs, and there's a few more, and you can see that on our website under our Voyagers Club program. If they've got those and they've never cruised with MSC before, I recommend before you make a booking that you fill out a status match form. The status match asks you to give the information of that other company and the points they have. And what we will do is we will take that information and we will automatically make them an MSC Voyagers Club member. Now, to explain how this works, if your client is an elite member of Princess, they will automatically become an MSC Gold member. To be an MSC Gold member, you have to have cruised 144 nights These people never cruised with us, may only be doing a 7-night cruise, but they'll be able to become a gold member straight away and get amazing discounts and inclusions on board. So it's worth doing that. I tell you to do it before you make your booking, because they may also be entitled to an additional discount on their booking once you've done it. You have 3 years to use that membership once you've been given the membership, so it's not like they have to rush and use it tomorrow. They can sign up today and make a booking in 2019 or beyond. I'd like to leave you with our fantastic promotion that we have for 2018 and into March 2019, which is called Pick Your Gift. If you selected cruises with MSC, you will have the choice of an onboard credit in Australian or New Zealand dollars that they can use on board, or they can choose a 2-for-1 inclusive drinks package. So that's the all-inclusive drinks package. The first adult gets it free and the second adult pays. Or they can choose an internet package if they're going to do a lot of activity from there. I thank you for joining us today. Please type in all your different questions, and I'm going to stick around here so I can answer them all for you. And thank you for coming through Clear. I know they're recording it today, so you'll be able to replay this if you've forgotten any bits and pieces or you want to tell your colleagues or your clients about anything. My name's Donna, and have a wonderful day. I'd like to thank everyone for joining. If there's any other questions, I'm still here if you need to hear anything. Also, keep an eye on the Clear Hub for any of our functions. We have functions all around Australia and New Zealand, and they're great for both you and your clients to come and learn more about MSC. Thank you once again for joining me today.
Thank you so much for everybody who has attended today. If there are no more questions, I will wrap up today's webinar session. If you have any questions, please feel free to either email myself or Donna, if you would like to provide your email, they can email you or I'll forward them through to yourself.
Certainly, I'll do that right now.
Thank you everyone for attending. I'll wrap up the session today. The webinar will be loaded onto the Clear Members Hub, so please look out for that webinar.